Welcome to Real Estate of Mind, a Farbman Group podcast. I'm Andy Gutman, and this morning I have the pleasure of sitting with several of our amazing interns here at Farbman. Now, our internship program has really grown over the years. It started with just a friends and family kind of a thing where we'd get a couple of calls from people we knew saying, hey, can you give my kids something to do over the summer? And really has turned into a very competitive and useful program for us. Some of our biggest leaders in the company have come from our internship program. So I'm hoping today I'm sitting with some future leaders here and that these guys want to come back. But with that, we're going to get started and grill these guys with some really tough questions this morning. All right, gentlemen, let's go around the room. Why don't you introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about you, your background, what you're doing here this year.
My name is Matt Steffen. I'm from Novi, Michigan. I'm currently a senior at Michigan State, and I've been working with both construction and investment sales and brokers this summer.
Thanks, Matt.
My name is Thomas Soma. I'm from Rochester Hills, Michigan. I'm going into my sophomore year at Central Michigan University. I've been working in the accounting department this summer, and it's been a really good experience for me.
My name is Will Dubay. I'm from Birmingham, Michigan. Going to be a senior at the College of Charleston in South Carolina. And this summer I've been working on the joint venture team doing asset management.
My name is Ari Fowlhandler. I attend West Bloomfield High School. I'm a junior, and I work in the brokerage department with Ron Goldstone.
Okay, guys, summer's coming to a close. You've had a chance to work here for a little bit. Why don't you tell me a little bit about what you've done in each of the departments, a little bit about your experience here at Farbman. Ari, start us off.
Well, it definitely blew my expectations away. It wasn't what I expected an internship to be. I expected it to be just cold calling and just paperwork within the office. But Ron Goldstone, who I was working with, really took me out of the office, showed me properties, and just really interacted with me and taught me what he does each and every day and what he really loves.
That's a nice thing. You know, Ron has been with us for over 30 years. Now, he started, obviously, when he was about 8, so he's very young still. But one of the leaders in retail brokerage in the community, so that's a fantastic thing getting to work with him for the summer. Will?
So working on the joint venture team, mostly worked under Jonathan Margolis, who is asset manager here, but really worked with all team members on the joint venture team. The work I did was really all across the board. Worked with loans and banks, tenants, leases, did stuff with property taxes, insurance, comps, building systems, you name it. Really worked all across the board there. It was a great experience just learning how to run an operation like this, especially buildings that you own and manage. So just a really fun experience, and I learned a ton.
That's great. And the nice thing, I don't know if you know this, Jonathan Margolis started off as an intern for us. Did he tell you that?
Yeah, he did mention that to me. He worked under you, right?
Yeah, poor guy. Poor guy had a rough start, but Jonathan is one of our success stories of our internship program. He has worked his way up to asset manager, thought of as one of the senior team here, even though he's still a young guy, but really, really great capabilities. So it's good you had a chance to work with him.
Yeah, I learned a lot from him this summer.
That's great. Thomas?
Like I said, I've been working in the accounting department, and I've really gotten a good opportunity to work with our AR and our AP. I've also been working on budgets and bank recs, and it was a really good experience for me because I'm going into accounting, and so I was able to get a lot of good experience. I was able to learn a lot, and so I'm hoping to take that to school with me this next year into a couple of my classes.
Oh, that's great. What are you studying? What's your major?
I'm gonna get my bachelor's in accounting, and then hopefully go on to get my MBA, then maybe become a CPA. That's seems to be my future plans as of now.
That's fantastic. Good. Matt?
I'm Matt again, and I've been working with construction management for the first portion of the summer. And coming from property management last summer, it's really interesting to see how all the different departments interact with each other and how necessary it is for key communication. And then switching over to brokerage now, you really see how construction is necessary to increase the value of an asset in order to show it to potential buyers.
That's a really good point. Absolutely. And of course, Michigan State guy, love
Yep.
that. Gotta like that. All right, guys, the questions are only going to get tougher from here. I hope you're ready. Digging in. Let's talk about some of the favorite projects you guys have had this summer. Thomas, start us off. What's been your favorite thing to do?
When I first started this summer, I was able to work under one of our AR specialists, Teresa, and she was going to be out on one of the busier days of the month, so she actually kind of trained me to do like a lot of what she does. And so on like the first of the month in June, I actually was like pulling her wires and doing all her checks, and I really enjoyed that because I like got to work and I had to really like buckle down and grind all day. It was kind of like you didn't have time to breathe, and at the end of the day, I was like, wow, the day went so fast. Like I felt satisfied with everything. So that was a really cool experience for me.
No, that's great. You know, people don't really know, unless they're in the accounting field, the actual pressures that come down day after day. It is a grind, and before you know it, the day's over, and you're looking back. So good. Sounds like it was a good experience.
Oh yeah.
Will?
So my favorite project was definitely working on the lender package with Jonathan for our Columbus portfolio, or 2 properties down there. And I enjoyed that mostly because at heart I'm like a numbers guy. My major's finance at school, so it was really interesting to dig into the financials of those properties, learn how we derive property value from looking at the income statement, and trying to work the numbers in a way that makes a really favorable outcome for us. So I enjoyed that project a lot, and worked pretty closely with Jonathan on that.
No, it's great, and you can actually, I mean, we're very close on that to finalizing a lender that we're going to go with. So hopefully, if not while you're still here, we can reach back out to you and show you what your work turned out to be.
Definitely, that's exciting.
Good. Ari.
My favorite project has to be the Burlington Square project with Ron. We walked through it. It's a multi-million deal, and I listened in on phone calls between both sides and just saw each perspective on the property. We also walked through with appraisers and inspectors just multiple times, and really getting to know the property and its value and its worth. That had to be a project that's really memorable for me.
No, that's great, and that's a nice lesson for you, because you get to see how you bring together 2 different diverse needs and put them together to get a deal done.
And you also see all the work that's done behind the scenes between each party involved, whether it's the banks, the attorneys, and the other 2 parties, and in addition to the broker.
That's true. There's a lot of hands in every deal, isn't there? That's great. All right, Matt, it's on you.
So one of the tenant improvement projects we're working on is a 2-story office renovation for an existing tenant, which doesn't sound very glamorous, but it is taking a lot of work and a lot of players, because they want to stay in their office as much as possible while the renovation is going on. So the communication and developing the phase plans of how to go about renovating their office is really interesting, and it takes a lot of players, whether it's the tenant, our construction team. There's another third-party tenant representative in there, as well as the architects and all the contractors. It's just a lot of moving parts. It's fast-paced, and it's very interesting.
No, that's great. You know, that's one of the nice things about Huntington Construction. We understand that it's about the client's needs.
Yeah.
And so if they want to stay in place while they're doing construction, we can make that happen,
Right.
and we do it in a way that minimizes the disruption to their services. So it's
Definitely.
great you got to see that. That's nice. So the summer's coming to an end. You got to be thinking about the future. Will, start us off telling us what your future plans are. What's in store for you? You are the senior guy. You're the old guy of our group, right? So.
Yeah, in a way. The short answer is I have no idea. But I do know a few things that I definitely want. I think I want to move to a big city for a few years at least. So New York, Chicago, LA, somewhere around there, another big city around the country, I'm not sure. Probably going to apply to some jobs, maybe try to work some connections so I can get a spot somewhere that's cool and's got a really great energy. And I also learned this summer especially, I went to Chicago, visited the Chicago properties that Farbman owns and operates, and got a tour and got to meet with Greg, who works out there, and his experience that he's having right now is really great. He gets to work with Andy Farbman every single day, run ideas by him, work on deals with him, ask him any question he wants. He works right next to him every day. And that experience I look at and find is very valuable. Being able to work alongside a decision maker like that and someone who's really established and really smart in this industry. So a position like that is something that I'll look for eventually, if possible. So I do know that, and I learned that this summer.
We'll make sure we let Andy Farbman know that you're interested in being part of a big city and perhaps working with him. Maybe there's a slot out there. Who knows?
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see.
But you're right. That's the days you spent in Chicago were probably the most valuable days you will have spent with our organization. Just getting to, whether it's working with Andy's acquisition specialist, Greg Salter, or working with Andy directly. It really tells you what the organization's about, because it starts with Andy Farbman, and all the deals that we end up buying are really based on his decision and his input, and he is brilliant, absolutely one of the best in the industry. So that had to be a great couple of days out there. We'll make sure we let him know Chicago may be on your radar for a future job.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Thomas, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm going in my sophomore year of college, so I feel like every 2 weeks or so my future plans change, and I think I have a different perspective on what I want to do. But as of now, it's get my bachelor's in accounting, go to school, learn. And then after that, probably start working for a little while I get my master's, get a little experience while I'm learning a little bit more. Once I get my master's, I'm thinking about becoming a CPA, like going through the test, going through that type of ringer. I think eventually what I want to do is open up my own business. It's kind of been something I've wanted to do since high school, like something I saw myself doing. And so I'm not really sure what I want it to be yet, if I want to like franchise something or come up with something on my own, like try to get a little creative. But as of now, I think if I go through that, I'll be set up well to do what I want to do.
No, that's fantastic, and truly, I believe that your generation in particular is one of the most entrepreneurial I've seen in my lifetime.
Oh, yeah.
You just believe that there's a way to create your own future. I think that's fantastic. I think some of that comes from the last recession, where there weren't regular jobs,
Yeah.
like we've seen historically. So the fact that you want to go out and create something new on your own, absolutely a fantastic thing. So I wish you all the luck in the world.
Thank you.
That's
I
great.
appreciate it.
All right, Matt.
So I've got graduation coming up in December, which is way too soon, but I gotta face it. And like I mentioned before, I did property management in the previous summer. Now I've done construction management, as well as getting some exposure to brokerage. So I think, becoming as well-rounded within real estate is something I really want to do, because real estate is an industry that I want to stay in with the rest of my life. And my ultimate goal is either asset management or to be director of real estate operations for a large company.
That's fair. Those are good goals. Well, we're going to have to make sure your resume is with our HR director, Kristen. Don't forget about us when you graduate,
Not at all.
because you've done a great job for us over the
Thank you.
last 2 years. So glad you're a part of that. And now our youngest member here, one of the few, and I'm going to lead into this a little bit, Ari, because we rarely ever hire someone in high school to come work with us as an intern. And I got the chance to meet you. I was asked to interview you, and I said, a high school person may not be ready for this job. And I spent no more than 15, 20 minutes with you, I think. And I was just blown away with, you certainly don't behave like someone who is as young as you are. You had such poise and grace, and really have proven out that it was a great decision to bring you in. So that's probably a heavy lead-in for you, but tell us, if anything, what your future plans are.
Thank you so much, by the way. I'm just a junior in high school, so as of now, just continue participating in DECA, which is the business club at our school where we compete. Last year I made nationals, so hopefully I can go even farther in the years to come. In terms of college, I would like to major in business, hopefully attend the University of Michigan or college like that. But I've always had a love and passion for business, and I had always wanted to go into something like private equity or something in investments. However, this really changed my perspective and my mind on business, and really introduced the real estate importance. And now I would also like to do something that involves real estate and involves all those components together. And so
Well, that's good. Well, being a junior in high school, you have a lot of opportunities to come back, be an intern with us again, test out some of those other areas. So hopefully you'll keep that in mind as you're determining next summer what to do.
Yep, 100%.
Great. Gentlemen, thank you for participating this morning. I know I pulled a few of you in last minute. This was Will Dubé's idea to do a podcast with our interns. A brilliant idea, but just like all the brilliant work he's done this summer, we're glad to have you guys all here. You have really made Farbman proud, and we appreciate all you do. Hopefully you'll take your experiences, learn from them, and just know that everything you did was appreciated. Best of luck to you in all you do, gentlemen. Join us next time for another wonderful edition of Real Estate of Mind, a Farbman Group podcast.